Greetings from the sunny and humid climes from southern Thailand, but today it's rather raining a little bit. So I'm here in my favorite spot in the woods near the beach and near the road, and the topic of today's video is where to meet Indonesian girls. I've been asked this question quite a few times now, where to meet Indonesian girls when in Indonesia. Also this question is actually a summary of two other questions which I've been asked. Which places are best for expats to meet Indonesian women? And also another question I was asked, is it easy to meet Indonesian girls by just walking around the streets? So where to meet Indonesian girls? Obviously in Indonesia, but you also can meet them outside of Indonesia. How did actually I meet my first Indonesian girlfriend? That was in Hong Kong, and it was in a bar. It was in a disco, in a club, I remember, and actually she approached me. Yeah, but I will not go into this topic today. I will shoot another video probably in the future, how I met my first Indonesian girlfriend and so on. But most of my previous dates or girlfriends I met through either referrals or introduction through friends who has a friend who has another friend. You know, this is how it goes. This is like it goes in any other country basically, right? You meet people and then you meet some other people and then you meet a few more people. You get introduced and this and that. Obviously, I mentioned this already, you can meet Indonesian girls also in the club and the discos, but I would be careful because even in Jakarta, for example, I've been to clubs, I've been to certain discos and stuff. The girls who are hanging around there, yeah, they can be freelancers and stuff, so you can have great fun with these girls, but I don't think it's really great relationship material, so at least you have to pay attention to that. In Hong Kong, for example, you can meet a lot of these Indonesian girls, especially on Sundays when it is their day off, and they hanging around at the parks mostly, having picnic and stuff, meeting their friends, catching up with them, you know, chit-chatting, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. I've never done that. I've never approached, I never was strolling through the park in Hong Kong, I don't know, Victoria Park and all these parks there, and directly approached Indonesian woman. I never done that. There may be some other guys who've done that. I think it's a lot of fun because these Indonesian girls are very open, they're curious, and when an expatriate is just approaching a bunch of Indonesian girls having a lot of fun, I think it's even more fun. Go. This is what I mean, that's what I'm talking about, you know, it's just very lovely, you know. They are not shy at all. I mean, these girls, they are walking in a group, you know. What? It's open? Can you close it? Really? Oh, sorry. I didn't do that on purpose, so. Thank you. No, it's only my one. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Riau.
Ah, Pekanbaru.
Sumatra.
Yeah, I know. I lived in Medan before.
Oh, Medan.
No, you don't like Medan, right?
Why?
No, because it's Sumatra Utra, right?
Yeah.
And then Pekanbaru is south, right?
Yeah.
Correct? It's south, right? Okay, anyway, enjoy. Bye. So, very funny, right? As you know, I worked in Indonesia for quite some time, for a few years. So obviously, yeah, you meet colleagues, female colleagues. You know, you work together. I'm a chef. I worked in large hotels in Indonesia, so with hundreds of staff. So yeah, by nature, you have a lot of variety of, at the time, very young, very attractive young female staff, right? Single staff, and they're curious because I was not the only expatriate in this company, in this hotel, but I was just like one of two. Yeah, so you see, you have a great advantage. It's a great opportunity for you. So this is basically the places where you can meet Indonesian girls. I would not recommend the online dating websites, not anymore. Even I also used them in Indonesia at the time. Of course, this is also a possibility where you can meet Indonesian girls, and the online dating websites, they are full of girls and lady boys and stuff. You have to be careful with that also. I met girls online, I dated them afterwards, so it was good for having some fun and stuff, but it never really developed something serious out of that. I remember, I can confirm this. The same when I met girls in a bar in Jakarta, for example. That was just more like an overnight stand thing. The more serious relationships which have developed with Indonesian women were actually, I met these women at my workplace. Yeah, and this is also how it goes in the Philippines, for example. You know, the really good girls, they work, they have a job, they take care of their family, they're sending money, this and that. So they're busy, you know, they're not hanging around the whole day on a dating website trying to meet a bunch of foreigners or extracting money from them, or I don't know what. So the good girls, in my experience in Indonesia, the solid girls, you can find, in universities probably, at work. If you have a job, then I don't need to tell you anyway. That kind of stuff. So the next question, which places are good for expats? I've been asked this question as well. Yeah, I would say definitely Jakarta, the capital city. Millions of people are living there. Bali, I think, is also a good place. Oh, actually, Bali is not such a good place. I do not recommend it because Bali is known also among Indonesians, especially in Indonesian women, that many foreigners have traveled there. I don't even understand the hype about Bali anyway. Bali is highly overrated, but that's a different topic. Yeah, and you know, these Indonesian girls, they're not stupid. So some of them move to Bali to hook up with foreigners or play their games or play their scams or whatever agenda they pursue, you know. For that reasons, I would not recommend Bali. It's just too touristy, you know. Everybody knows what's going on there. You have these nightclubs and stuff. So if you really want to find a good Indonesian girl, move to Jakarta. I worked in Jakarta. I lived in Jakarta for a while. I also lived in Medan and Sumatra, and I lived in Batam. And this is maybe a secret tip I can give you here. If you really want to hook up or meet or date good Indonesian girls, then you have to go to places where no other expats basically are. 10 years ago, I lived in Medan on Sumatra. Medan is, I think, the 4th largest city in Indonesia, millions of inhabitants, and just a handful of expats at a time. Yeah, so, but plenty of girls, plenty of women. So I dated a lot of Indonesian women in Medan. And even a few years later, I remember that was in 2018, so it's already 5 years ago. But I was walking around the city with my stick and my mobile phone. I was recording a video for my channel at the time. And I was just walking a few meters. I got approached already by curious folks, you know, not by women who wanted to date me, but by Indonesian. They were students, you know. They approached me. They wanted to talk to me. They asked me questions. Eventually, we recorded the video together. I interviewed them for my channel. So, yeah, and this, so more you go into the province, so more curious the people apparently become, and you are just an exotic commodity. Yeah, so this is where you have greater chances to stand out, but also to find really good girls. In Jakarta, you know, many people are living there, but also many expats. And the Indonesian women, are kind of used already to the expats in Jakarta, right? So I got this other question here. Is it easy to meet girls by walking around in the streets? Yes and no. It also depends on what kind of guy you are. Are you a shy guy? Are you somebody who is suffering from approaching anxiety or not? I think most of the guys, we have to be honest here, we suffer from approaching anxiety. No matter what other people pretend or what other guys think of themselves, what kind of type they are, most of the dudes, most of the guys, this is maybe interesting for you to know, you women, they have a approaching anxiety, yeah, and in Indonesia it's the same thing. If you are a guy who is not shy to approach girls, then you can go ahead and talk to them. There's nothing wrong with that. The only issue will be the low English level. Yeah, I don't know how it is now. I don't think it has improved much, but you can try your luck. Go to Jakarta, travel to Jakarta, go into any shopping mall, and then just hit on the girls, chat them up, talk to them, you know, and then let's see what is coming out of it, you know. I don't know if you can converse with them in proper English. I don't know, but yes, even the girl is able to speak English with you. She will most definitely be shy. So Indonesian women are by nature also very shy. Indonesian women never approach you. This is not what's going to happen. Also not in Indonesia. When you walk down the streets or through the mall, no Indonesian woman, even if they are zooming around in a bunch, they will not approach you. They might maybe look at you, they giggle a little bit, maybe, you know, but forget about it, yeah? That's not what's going to happen. If you are in a club and a disco and stuff like that, or in a bar, and you get approached by an Indonesian woman, then you should know what time it is, okay? I don't think I need to elaborate any further. Because Asian women, they are feminine, they are by nature shy, and it's not in their nature to approach guys, especially not foreigners. This is very, very uncommon, okay? Also, if you are a guy who is not suffering from approaching anxiety and the fear of rejection and all that kind of stuff, please consider that the Western style of approaching women also is not really popular in Indonesia. You know, you probably watch too many Hollywood movies. Then, you know, forget about it. Don't even try it. You know, don't try to be the cool macho guy with the cool jokes here and this kind of crap. Forget it. You know, Indonesian women are not that stupid also, and it's not even part of their culture. Okay, Indonesian women are interested, of course, in a funny man, because Indonesians like to laugh, to joke around. They are very joyful people. If you can make an Indonesian woman smile, or if you can with your kind of humor, with your style of humor, make her laugh, that's very important also to connect, you know. But Indonesian women are interested more in solid man, a man who is presentable, who is stable financially, emotionally, you know, the usual traits I've been talking about in my previous videos already. The usual traits who also apply for other Southeast Asian countries. Yeah. And you also have to be patient and take your time. Yeah, you're just walking down the road in Jakarta or in Batam or in Bali and hit on a girl and think you can chat her up easily and extract her phone number. It's maybe not working out very well. So you have to be patient. You have to give yourself some time. You might need several approaches, and maybe you have to fine-tune also your way, your style, and this and that, you know. So it's all about the practice, you know. But I think if you do it in a smart way, in an interesting way, the same like in Western countries, you know, you not just walk down the street and chat up an attractive woman and talk some nonsense. You don't do that. Yeah, you think before you act. You want to think before you act. You want to think at least, you know, what you say. First impressions last, and the same with Indonesian women, you know. But if this woman is by nature interested in bully and foreign men, then yeah, you might have a bigger chance. But it's all theory here. You have to go out and try it out for yourself. You know, I just share my experience with you. I never actually hit on girls on the streets in Indonesia. Never. It's not my style. You know, I met my girlfriends at work, or I met them through introduction by other friends. So this is how it happens. So very, very common. This is how it also happens in Western countries. There's no rocket science to it. Yeah, and last but not least, is it easy to hook up with Indonesians abroad? Yes, it is. It is easier to hook up with Indonesians abroad. Again, it depends what you are looking for. And I want to make this distinction as well. And I got a viewer comment the other day from an Indonesian woman. She was replying to another viewer's comment, and she said that that comment was in regards to my video, which I think. The video is called "Why I Love Dating Indonesian Women." You might want to check out that video. But she commented, or she replied to one of the viewers' comments that yeah, the Indonesian girls who live in Hong Kong, they are more on the easygoing side because they work hard, so they also want to play hard, and maybe also they come from a lower education background, poor province stuff. I think these dynamics also play a role. So if you are looking for girls for fun, having a good time and stuff, yeah, maybe then places like Hong Kong is good for you. You know, if you're, I don't know, a committed bachelor or what, I don't know, just want to date around some girls and check them out. But if you are really looking for a high quality wife material Indonesian woman, then I suggest that you travel to Indonesia and meet them there. This is just my experience. I'm not saying that there are no good girls in Hong Kong, or that there are just only crazy Indonesian girls in Hong Kong who just want to party and drink and take drugs. And drugs is an issue also. I met quite a few Indonesian girls, young women, who actually had regular jobs as a maid in Hong Kong, but you know, they play it really hard on the weekends, and they take drugs and shit like that. And you don't want to deal with these kind of women, except you are you are in for a one night stand or stuff like that. But you don't want to start a relationship with that kind of woman. So you certainly can also find wife material in Hong Kong for sure, but I mean the statistical probability and possibility to meet, let's say, a good girl in Indonesia is way higher. This is just my experience I just shared with you. And yeah, that's it for today. So I hope I could answer all these questions properly. Go ahead, ask me more if you want to know, if you want to get more details. I cannot cover everything here in this video. Before I forget, I also was asked about the age gap in Indonesia. Yeah, it is. Is it similar to the Philippines? I would say it's not so extreme like in the Philippines or in Thailand, where you can see walking around, I don't know, 60, 70-year-old dudes with 20, 22-year-old ladies. Yeah, you certainly find that also probably in Jakarta, in Bali, when you visit the nightclubs and stuff. You know, you can see these combinations. But the couples I know of who are married, Western guy with Indonesian woman, yeah, there is a certain age gap, but the age gap is probably 20 years, 10 to 20 years max. That's or lower. My ex-girlfriend, the Christian one, which I dated a few years, our age gap was 16 years. So yeah, that's normal in Indonesia. All my girls I dated were younger than me. Some of them were just a few years younger, maybe 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, you know. But these women never made an issue out of the age. It's the same dynamic like in the Philippines and Thailand, I guess, you know. We talked about this in previous videos, why that is that these women are interested to meet foreigners, and also why older foreigners, you know. Yeah, so that's it. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.